What is going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon, aka Drip, back with another video. In today's video, we have a Galaxy Eyes, um, King Sarcophagus, all that good horror stuff, combo tutorial slash piloting discussion, and just overall deck discussion in general. People have requested it, which even without people requesting, I thought since this was something new that the deck can do and no one's really done it before, I figured I'd make a video on it to help a lot of people out who are going to expand it further and take their own takes on it, to basically give them a heads up to what all you can do and what I think the deck brings to the table and stuff like that, what I'd like to try to fit in, etc., etc. But before we get in this video, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe also, please, 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 please. I really want to get to 2,000. And just keep trucking along. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And check out in the description for all the ways to support me. Discord, Patreon, PayPal, all my social media links and everything is down below as well, just to become even closer part of the D.D.D fam. I love you so much for it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first combo video, guys. All right, here we are with the first test hand. If you can't already tell, I'm going to be proxying the Mcetis. I mentioned before, if people really wanted to see the combo guide, that I would have to proxy, which I'm only going to be proxying in Mceti. I'm not going to be proxying anything else. I took all the other stuff out, so the deck so you'll be able to know when I draw cards, you know what it is. Let's say your hand's something like this. Obviously, the proxy is going to be Mceti, and we'll see what we get from there. First, we're going to start out with trade-in, is what I would do personally. Trade-in, draw to get different cards, another Mceti, and your Emperor. Okay, now that we have a Photon and Graveyard, we can use the Emperor for free, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Mceti and Emperor to search. The trade-in should be in the graveyard. To search our King Sarcophagus and draw a card, because it's all in the same card effect. Go ahead and get cut up here. Draw a card. That's disgusting. Now, on a new change, since we do have a Photon and Graveyard, the Emperor would activate to summon. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Let me zoom out. All right. There we go. The Emperor would summon itself and give us an additional normal summon. We haven't even used our first summon yet. We can activate the Sarcophagus now. Pitch the other Mceti to send Blessing. Either or, Blessing or Happy. Now, what we can do is activate the Orbital. Attach. Tribute to search. Here you can search anything you want. I would probably search, just to get maximum value, I would search Vanisher, because it gets a 4 on board and it also refills your hand. So I would search Vanisher. Obviously, I know there's different ways you can do it. And I just want to maximize all my plussing. But definitely when you got to pitch cards from hand to get more Horus cards in the graveyard. Special effect to search. The Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Okay. I'm going to wait to use the 100 to later in combo to basically see as it goes along, like, what we may need. Now I will use the Soldier. Pitch. Back to search. I would probably search, just to be safe, I would search the Summoner. Now, obviously, the way that your graveyard's set up, you didn't have to play that hard into Nib. You, instead of summoning the Soldier already, you could have summoned the Mceti, which probably would have been the smart idea. Summon the Mceti, summon the Blessing. This is 4 summons here. And then you can go into your Photon Lord, then summon your Soldier. Probably would be the smarter play. And then search the Summoner. Now, what we can do is we can go 100. Now we send the jumper, the other best one to send. Send the jumper effect. See what's in our graveyard. Here I would probably grab the 0 or the expedition. I'll probably grab the expedition, yeah. Grab the expedition. Okay. Activate the expedition. I would probably summon the Afterglow Dragon. So we go into Cypher X, protect ourselves from targeting for 2 turns, and it refills itself. Overlay into Cypher X. Detach these 2. Protect ourselves from targeting. Afterglow effect. Special. Here we would go 100 to rip 1 from their extra deck. Okay. Now what we will do is we'll take the soldier and the Cypher X. Link into Soul Flare. Now, Soul Flare effect, we will, this is our graveyard. Probably grab the Photon Dragon so we can search follow-up on their standby with this so we don't have to search an interruption. Now, what we can do is first normal summon. We can summon back, probably summon back the jumper here. So if we make blast, we'll have an additional pluses on their turn. Now we can utilize the overlay unit. Summon the Photon Dragon. Now we can detach the summoner. Put the graveyard here. To search, here I would probably search the Advancer. Okay. Now summon the Advancer. We're not going to make it an 8. We're going to overlay. Even though we are protected from targeting, we want to be able to banish more of our opponent's extra deck because it's fun. Now, what we can do is we're not locked into anything. Let me see. You can discard the Photon Dragon off of the Sarcophagus if you wanted to get an additional rank 8 to be able to make 38 basically is what we're doing. To send the Happy. Summon the Happy. It does not activate. It's an inherent summon, so they can't ghost spell it. And you can do it under Dweller, so keep that in mind. Now make 38. And yeah, you don't have much resources in hand, but you're going to get it all back because you're going to get a search off of the jumper. You are going to get a search off of the Lord, the Lord, and that will be more than enough follow-up. Plus the Sarcophagus, like I said in the profile video, the Sarcophagus, even if they break your board, is a one card rank 8, so we'll be easily to be able to get right back into our engine. And then we're going to rip another one from their extra deck, or special summon if it's another monster and we want it. So they can't target none of our stuff for 2 turns, whether we have blast or not. You're going to rip one from their extra deck. You're going to search 2. You got 2 negates and a potential pop if you wanted to search another one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions on their turn. plus they can't target your stuff, plus you have follow up. Yeah, this is kind of gross. This is basically what the new combo kind of consists of. Sorry if the camera is kind of foggy. I'm trying to make sure I have everything in frame, but yeah, this is pretty insane. Let's go. I can't do shuffle hands because I don't want to like draw random cards. Like what I mean by random cards is like cards that I don't know is actually like Imseti and stuff. Obviously, we know what Galaxy House Photon can do without Imseti, so I just want to show off the Imseti portion of it. So let's go ahead and get into another test hand, guys. All right, here we are at another test hand. One thing I want to say is once I get access to Imsetis, I'll do actual like test hands. I meant to like tell you guys that in the last combo section. I didn't want to make it seem like I was like stacking the cards or anything like that because I'm really not. I just don't want since I'm proxying like I can't find my Upstart Goblin. Since I'm proxying Upstart Goblin and I'm proxying this too, I don't want to like draw into one and it be the opposite card, you know. So it's one of those things where once I get access to Imsetis, whether I buy them, trade for them, or borrow them from the teammates, I'll do an actual test hand video, like actual like consistency wise. But right now I'm just trying to show you guys the combo. One thing to keep note is basically if you see Imseti plus a handful of like Galaxy Engine, you're gassed out and you basically will get to the end board unless they interrupt you that I just showed you. So almost every hand can get you there. Not every hand can get you there, but almost every hand can get you there. So what I'll do here is to keep hand knowledge at bare minimum, I'll reveal the Photon Jumper because you don't want to reveal the Advancer for obvious reasons. Because you're going to send it, so you want to keep the hand like secretive. So you're going to reveal special, becomes a 4. Now you're going to use the jumper and the Imseti, send to the graveyard to search your King Sarcophagus. Give the deck a quick shuffle. Cut, cut, cut. Now draw a card off of the Imseti. Now this card's going to be kind of dead for this turn, but it's okay. We'll have it for follow-up, which is always nice to have. Any deck that can provide follow-up is a good deck to me. Now what we can do is normal summon. Oh, I'm sorry. Jumper effect. I almost forgot the best part. Jumper effect. Jumper effect to add the 100. Okay. I would activate said 100 now to send the Emperor. One thing that's you're gonna have going for you if you play this version of the build, definitely if like people don't know what Galaxy House does, and if they don't know what a Horus does, you're gonna have such an advantage because they're not gonna know what any of the cards do that it's gonna be hard to stop you. On top of that, like I mentioned in the deck profile, the Horus cards help us play around nib and droll or slash through those cards to where it doesn't even matter. But not to mention the amount of follow-up the Horus cards give us and interaction if they try to break our board is insane. So now Emperor Effect will summon itself. This is summon number 2. Now what we can do is if you want to play around nib, you just pitch the activate the King Sarcophagus, pitch the Advancer to send Blessing. The reason why I like sending Blessing is because if I don't have to overlay with it, I like to keep Happy on board because if they break your board non-targeting after you protect yourself from targeting, then the Happy will activate to be able to shuffle banish cards or cards in your graveyard back or add them to your hand. So they add even more. He adds even more follow-up. Granted, Blessing allows you to draw, but when I'm playing, like I'm going first, and I'm predicting my opponent to break my board. You always want to be able to like when you put up a board, always think that your opponent's going to break it, no matter how big of a board it is. You just have to always think the worst in order to come out with the best, if that makes sense. So, since I play it like that, I like to try to sometimes keep Blessing on the board. So if they break my board and play through all my interruptions, I can still use Blessing to add more follow-up in addition to what I already added off of 90 and all that. So I have a full board. They're going to, more of the story, they're going to use all their resources to crack my board. And my follow-up is always going to be better than whatever follow-up they have because it took all the resources they have to crack through my board. Definitely considering if they can't target none of my cards. So here we summon this, and now the summon number 2, that's 3. Summon number 4. So now you can make it with either of these. You can try to keep Blessing on board if you want, so you can draw cards. And then you can also have a Photon attached to Lord. So we're using SETI. And now summon number 5, we're protected. So now what we can do is normal summon. Tribute off to search. Right here I would probably search the, not the Cleric, the Galaxy Summoner. But yes, since if you don't know and you can't remember, since we have summoned anything other than Galaxy or Photon cards, we cannot use the trance this turn, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Now what we can do is normal summon, our second normal summon, to summon back the jumper, so we get more interruption and more follow-up. You don't need to summon back Wizard because you're going to get all the searches, the rest of the searches you need through the Photon Dragon we're about to summon. Sorry, I'm thinking of too many things at one time. Overlay those two into Photon Dragon. Now we can detach the Photon Dragon to either Foolish or add a card. We're going to add. That's not my deck, that's my extra deck. Now, what I will add, since we don't control 05 or higher Photon monster, we can get Expedition. I'll grab probably most likely 0 here. I'll activate the 0. Summon back the Advancer. Now, what I can do is overlay these two, right? Oh, I'm gonna backtrack because there was a better play. We'll add the Afterglow and not the Advancer. Or not the Advancer, but not the 0. This is a better play. I see it now. Special, since we control a Photon. A Galaxy has a card, rather. Do not use this card's effect yet. Overlay these two. We're going to go in the Cypher X route. This is still your girl. And then Cypher X. We're going to detach these two. Okay. And to protect ourselves. Now we're going to use Afterglow's effect. Summon. We're going to go Chainlink 1, 100, Chainlink 2, Galaxy Photon Dragon, targeting Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to make it a 4. Rip one from their extra deck. Then we can thinking what's the best option here. I'd probably, well, it just depends. We have enough follow-up with this. We don't need a follow-up off of this. So we'll take these two. Link row summon. Into Soul Flare. Soul Flare effect to add back more follow-up in the form of Summoner. Add the Summoner back. Okay. Now, I can take these two and make Jimmy Neutron. Got a blast. Blast Dragon. Okay. Now, we have, this is our hand. This is our follow-up. This is our interruption. This is even more protection. This is an interruption because we're going to search Photon Dragon on our opponent's draw phase. Granted, if you wanted to get more, like, if you wanted to risk it for the biscuit, you could pitch one of these. Let's just say we keep this for an OTK card, but you wanted to have more interruption because in theory, if they crack your board, you can add this back anyways. So let's just try it because we all know what the follow-up is and everything else. I'm just trying to show you guys something different else that you can do. So we can use Sarcophagus here to send the Happy. Now what we can do is, since we're still not locked, we can special summon the Happy and basically end it there. So what this board gives us is a negate and a search off of this. Preferably search Photon Dragon. Then what we're going to do is detach off of this after we use this effect. So we're going to use this effect first to pop a card with the Photon Dragon. Then we're going to use this to detach the jumper to bring back Photon Dragon to banish one or special from 100, then search with jumper. Then if they crack any of our board with, except during the damage step, obviously by battle, you can't do it. You get to take 2 of these cards and add them to your hand. So imagine being able to add back the summoner. So let's say, for an example, we went through half our board. They can't target or whatever, but they found a way to break it. Let's say they got rid of the Sarcophagus. Okay? Let me double check, make sure you can do it. Yeah. So let's say they got rid of the Sarcophagus and the 100. Okay? Because that's the only cards they can target, because they can't target anything else. You can target the summoner or something from your extra deck and shuffle it back. But let's say you target that, and then you can target the 100 and add it back to your hand, which is even more follow up. So even though, like, or if you didn't want to add these back, you can add the exact same cards that they destroyed. You can add these 2 back. You can just have access to the Sarcophagus because Happy's just broken like that. Yeah, because Happy says if you control King Sarcophagus, special summon this card, blah blah blah. Once per turn this way, if a card leaves the field, if card or cards leave the field by an opponent's card effect while this card is in the main monster zone, except during the damage steps, you can target 2 cards that are banished or in the graveyard and either add both of them to the hand or shuffle them into the deck. You can only use that effect of Happy, the Guidance of Horus, once per turn. So you can just basically add these right back for even more additional follow-up, because then you can activate the 100, the Foolish, the second copy of Jumper. Then you can activate this. If you wanted to, or you can hold it and then just OTK with Trance. So the sky's the limit. That's why I like having this on board. Other than that, like, it's basically it for the combo. But we're probably going to talk about, if you want to stick around and talk about it. I'm probably going to start talking about it now from here on out, because there's not really like much I can show you without like consistency. But like, even then, like I said, we all know what Galaxize does and what kind of boards it puts up. It's just what the Horus engine provides. So that's why I'm going to shift gears now and mainly talk about what it provides, in my opinion, and what I would like to potentially change or try to fit in. What it provides is a lot more follow-up, a lot more interaction, a lot more protection, and a lot more of a style of breaking boards. It provides level 8s and rank 8 potential, because King Sarcophagus is no joke when you're battling with it anyways, because it can, when you battle a card, you can just send it to the graveyard, so it's disgusting to out big boss monsters. Also, if they attack into it, it does the same thing. Also, this has protection from this protects all your Horus cards anyway. So this is basically a Jimmy Neutron Blast Dragon for the King Sarcophagus for all the Horus cards. So like the ability to be able to play this game and be able to make a board and actually feel safe is a feeling unlike any other. Because there's so many decks and so many times I play certain decks that I just feel like I'm not safe. I'm in danger. I'm not safe, and the ability to be able to feel that way without a kaiju or a sphere mode or something to crack my board just feels really nice. So even then, if they did the wrong one, then we just plus off of this anyways. So yeah, it's really nice. And it's a really good feeling what the cards bring. Now, I really, honestly, I know a lot of people probably won't agree, but it's just me and my play style and what I feel is necessary moving forward against the top tier decks, at least in the modern format right now. I really want to try somewhere along the way to fit in non-engine like Ash and Imperm mainly, just mainly those two. So 6 cards. I really want to try to fit in 6 cards, but it's just very hard with the 2 engines together because every Galaxy card you basically need, and the Horus engine I've trimmed down to the bare minimum. I don't. You can argue to get rid of Blessing, but I just like the ability to draw since my deck is not as high impact as other decks are. Like, and what I mean is just being able to just be an aggressive all the time. I like the ability to be able to draw if my opponent cracks my board, and it's just another free level 8. So because I know a lot of engines now are just running 1 Happy, 3 Imseti, and the King Sarcophagus. It's just I like the ability to potentially draw. That's all. Granted, you can argue that our deck already plays in a droll, so under droll that card will be dead. You would be very correct, but it's just I don't know. I really like it, but even then, that's just 1 card. That means I would have to find 5 more cards to be able to fit in for Ash and Imperm. But if we could be able to play non-engine with this deck too, because even if you think about it, even if you wanted to and you drew the non-engine and you went first, you could just pitch it off Sarcophagus if you trusted what your deck can do that well, which in theory is right. I just don't want to be able to go. I don't want to have to go second and then not have no non-engine to slow them down. Because even how gassed out our deck is, we can't push through everything. We need help, and those cards are helpful definitely when you time them properly. So just imagine if we drew like Imseti with Ash Imperm and another Photon card, and we're going second, and we drew another Photon card for turn. That is gassed out. So we had 2 interruptions, and then we can still full combo to kill them. Granted, we don't need very much engine to kill them because all we really need is Prime. So but still, the ability like to play into a less average board than a full engine board is just too crucial. It's too crucial in modern Yu-Gi-Oh in the current format that we're in. So that is the things that I'm going to be messing with and tinkering with moving forward. Because I can tell you this right now, this if I can find a way to make this consistently, which I'm sure I will. You guys know me. I always have the spice, I always have the sauce, and I always do well with this deck. So once I've cracked the code and consistency to be able to fit in 6 non-engine with how consistent this deck is, look out, because this deck is going to be a freaking monster. It's going to be a monster, and it will be a force to reckon with, and will be a sleeper deck that goes under the radar. I'm telling you that right now. Because like the ability to run such a small Horus engine, but get so much value out of it is just insane. Because like it's just unheard of. Because it like it's I don't know, man. It's hard to explain because like we run 40 cards, but the Horus engine is only 6 cards. But it feels like it's the whole deck because it puts so much work in and gives us so much utility and like more aggressiveness that's just unheard of. It took our normal end board and made it even more gross because now with the addition of the Horus cards, we can now consistently, for the most part, put up the same board that we normally did with Blast, Soul Flare 90, and Photon Dragon with our Galaxy 100, but now we can add the King Sarcophagus with number 38. That is just insane because our continue spells are not no joke either. Like King Sarcophagus is no joke. With the protection, and if they battle a Horus card, then you can just send it to the graveyard before damage step. So like your monsters never die as long as they attack well, let me rephrase that. I don't want to confuse some of you guys. As long as they are attacking a Horus monster, your Horus monsters will never die, really. Whatever they're trying to attack over, unless they have two big monsters that they can get over the second time, then yeah. But and in Galaxy 100 just being a constant threat every time you summon Photon Dragon, just constantly keep ripping their extra deck because this entire game flows through the extra deck now, or be able to special summon their number monsters for free is just insane. Like I don't know, it's just gross because um like the ability to like summon like a big eye or something and then use Afterglow's detach effect if you made it with like something and equip a monster to it as material, equip a card to the big eye as material, and then have another Mystisterio girl, bro. That's just nasty. There's so much utility, so much different things you can do with this deck and what it can do. It's really nasty. So like once I crack the code and I can actually fit at least 6 non-engine in and make me somewhat feel comfortable to where at least I can potentially draw one in my opening hand going second, it'll be another threat. It'll be a serious threat. But that's basically all I have for now. You know me, I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop and keep stay in the lab and keep working and just do what I do to try to bring the best content and the best Galaxy House content to you guys because I know you guys love it, and the fact that you guys love it just makes me love it even that much more because I love giving you guys stuff that you can have success with, spice things up, show the best of that this deck can be, and just overall just grow relationships with you guys. So but with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here and probably honestly head into the lab and keep messing with this and work on some other things for some future content. And I got to get things ready for the regionals. I'm going to another regionals so in a few weeks. So I got to stay in the lab and keep working on it. Granted, I won't be taking this deck. I'll be taking tier. I know. I'm sorry. I love tier too much, but with that being said, guys, I love you guys so much. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload because like 70% of you guys are not subscribed but are returning members, and it hurts my feelings. I love you guys so much. If you want the spiciest content around, then don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the D.D.D fam. Check the description to become even closer member of the D.D.D fam. Check the Patreon for all of the ways to support me and to all of the things you can get by being a member of the Patreon. But with that being said, again, I know I'm talking your heads off. I just love you guys so much. I never get a chance to talk to you. It's your boy, Brandon, a.k.a. Drip. Signing out next time. Peace. Good dueling, my guys.